challenge. Welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of my redoing my front door. Happy 4th of July belated for you, because I don't know when I'm posting this, but today I am sanding and priming and painting the door. It's still early in the morning. It's a little bit before 10 a.m. I have up until 6 o'clock just about to make sure that all the coats are on and dried before I can hang the door back on. Tomorrow I am changing the hardware and polishing all the brass. I will see you in a bit. Let me get the door out of the way and on my sawhorses, and let's get sanding. So here's my sander, and I'm all plugged in, and I have 2 grits. I have a 60, which is kind of rough. This is what I'm going to start with, and then to make it really smooth I have a 150, and this is going to take out all of the little ridges or whatever I have on the wood. So I have to sand twice basically. This one is going to bring it almost to bare wood, and this one is really going to make it smooth, so that way when I prime I have a very nice almost glass-like surface. That I'm keeping the door and not changing it, because this is oak. So this is what it looks like after one pass on the 60 grit, and you see the wood is starting to come out, and it looks like there's areas where the wood was fixed with some kind of wood putty. So I'm not going to sand too much with that grit. Here you can really see the wood. I thought about really sanding it down completely to bare wood and staining it, and then I thought that it's one of those jobs that you got to do too often. So you see that it looks like that was repaired right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the other grit, sand it down one more time, use the tacking wipe to get rid of all of the dust, and then I'll be ready to prime.
Trail. Bad news and high heels made me go off the rails. But one look at her, she's oh so fine. I know I've got to make her mine. She's just my kind, I can't get her off my mind. She's my kind of woman.
You're probably wondering, why don't I just stand the door and flip it to get rid of all this stuff? Because I'm lazy. That's why. So I'd rather bend and break my back and do this like that with the brush. Now really, I don't want to deal with moving the door, so we're just going to do it that way. Same result. This is called a tack cloth. You use it to remove all the leftover dust that you may have. It's got like a almost like an oil on it, and everything pretty much gets stuck to it.
She's my kind of woman, I need her so. Yeah, my kind of woman, I can't let her go.
So I'm going to use a CEDAR Prime Coat Primer and Sealer. And I'm using that because the door is wood and it's exposed to the elements. Even though when it rains we don't necessarily get the door wet, but I want to make sure that whatever job I do, it's going to last for a minute. And you notice, for those of you who watch the channel for a while, I'm putting painter's tape. I never do it. I just want to do a good job. For once. I should say that because I think I do pretty good. Average. On most times. So, I'll put the tape all around there. I'm still on the fence as to whether I want the inside here to be white or the same color than the door. I think it would look much better if it had like a frame around it, which it doesn't. So I'm gonna try both ways and see what it looks like when it's white and when it's red. I kind of want it white, but then I would have to add strips here maybe, I don't know. Painter's tape. I'm going to be here for 20 minutes just doing this. I'm telling you, I don't need it. Alright, I'm going to start with the part that I really don't want to do, which is this one here. Because it's more tedious. The rest is just straight line. This one you actually gotta, you know, get the paint in the corners and all that stuff. So the great thing about that CEDAR primer is that it's particularly on a day like this, it dries in 30 minutes. This is dry. So I'm going to go ahead and paint This is the leftover from the back door color. It's called Spiced Wine by Behr, and it's also paint and primer together. So the only problem I have with that is oh, you can see it, I'm all backlit. The first coat is a little thick. Scott and I talked about whether or not we wanted to keep those white or red, and then I looked online and there was a lot of example of front doors with this particular color, and in order for me to be able to do this white I would have to put a frame around it, and nobody got time for that, so guess what, it's all gonna be red. This is coat number 1, and yes, as you can see I did everything in red. When you do the first coat you're always going to see some of the white underneath it that all gets covered with the second coat, and I may actually do a third coat. This is a semi-gloss, by the way, and it dries pretty fast too, but it's time for me to have lunch, so I'll go have lunch. When I come back I'll put coat number 2, I'll wait for it to dry, and then I'll hang the door again. I don't know, maybe I'll have time to go to the pool. It depends on how fast this dries. Probably an hour, 2 hours. I'm pretty much in sunlight here, and these corners are hit by the sun, and it's really hot. It's 91 degrees, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna dry pretty fast. So I'll see you in a bit. So here goes, the door is back in, but now all I can see is the front porch. The floor needs to be repainted, which I think I'm gonna end up doing this summer. So add that to the list, because it's getting old, and we can't really replace it right now. It's got paint chips and paint drops. But anyway, here's the door. And I still have to do the frame, remember? That was in cream color. I'm not crazy about the result with the tape. There's some areas that need to be touched up. I did not clean the glass yet. And remember, tomorrow I have to do all the hardware. Restore the brass stuff, reinstall it, change this lock, remove this one so I can clean it up, and put the knocker back on, and then the mailbox slit. But in the meantime, we don't use the slit at all. We have a box here for our mail, and then the rest of the deck you've seen before. You see, it's really in need of restoration, so I'm definitely gonna have to sand it and paint it. And it's only 4:30, and I'm gonna go take a shower, and guess what? Pool time. It's the 4th of July. We're gonna enjoy ourselves at the pool for a couple of hours, and then we're gonna do movie night. Edward wants to see 1917, so we'll watch that tonight. Probably in the living room, because the basement is still a little warm, and we have the AC going on the first floor anyway. So that was day 2 of the door restoration. It was tough. It was a tough job. It's definitely a 3-day job. Can't do that in one day. But the worst is done. Tomorrow is just the fun part. It's the decorative items, which is what I like. So I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching, you guys. Bye. Hey, it's me, and guess what? Click that thumbs up if you really like this video. Thumbs down twice if you didn't. You can also share my video if you really liked it, or save it to watch later. Also, you can subscribe to my channel, but don't forget to click that bell button so you are always notified when I post a new video. Thank you for watching.